right.
We're no lag tonight, taking it easy and all easy stuff. We'll give people a couple minutes to start getting in here. I wanted to tell you that we're gonna head back to the high quality stuff next week because the way we
the high quality video. Nice.
The way we have to do it with
For real, I will buy that shit.
with Pete, with our guest next week.
Yeah.
With our guest next week, the way we have to do it is off my computer, and that's not big enough to fit both of us. So we'll have to get the camera set up and then the microphone so we can hear them all.
No, that's gonna go good.
Yeah, that should be good. Hope it goes live soon. I think I did everything right. Well, I didn't put any advertisement up about it until
I meant
12 noon
to,
today.
but I had to get up at 3:30 this morning to drive to work because I'm so far behind.
Yeah, I am sure you are.
Penalties for going on vacation for a whole week. I know. Is it not broadcast?
Big old man phone.
Says it's live. Big old waterproof phone. It looks like us. Hey.
All right. Well, I guess people just don't love us anymore. It's okay. I'm sure you're gonna watch this back later.
Yeah. Rahul's hurrying home from swim practice to watch it, so we'll have one.
Got one right now. It's you.
Oh yeah.
So we'll go ahead and get started. This might be a shorter episode than most because we're staying busy. And like Jeremy just said, he's on catch up. I am on teaching duty, so I have
Not kayak
slaving
teaching.
away, not kayak teaching. So our last Xavier pool session is coming up on the 15th of February. That is going to be from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Also on the 15th of February, by some coincidence, is the new Little Miami race date because the river is currently frozen solid.
True.
We're seeing some higher, warmer temperatures next week, so hopefully the water is going to surge up. And
Yeah, that's the main thing I was thinking
we
too.
will
Is
fly.
what flow. Yeah.
Um,
I think it's supposed to hit 50.
it's going to hit 50 at some point next week. We're still not out of the snow.
I'm hoping for some icebergs.
There might be some.
I think there will be.
So yeah, the race of February 15th is now the new race date. The Xavier pool session is on the 15th as well, so you can go hang out at the race.
Race
and
is
then
12.
The race starts at
12.
11 o'clock is your briefing,
Okay.
and then
Race starts. At
race
12.
starts at 12. So 11
And
o'clock
It's at Roads, Rivers, and Trails.
is at Road Over the Trails. What's up, Christian?
Yo.
Yeah, so that's at Road, Rivers, and Trails. We are going. I'll probably be going directly from the race to the pool session. Hopefully, I just figured I was on Sunday, and I normally work on Sunday, so I'll probably just call off. But hopefully, I'll be able to do that. If you are part of the Friday night kayak class, we have 2 more Friday night sessions left. So that's this Friday and then next Friday. If you are any interested in whatsoever, go ahead, come out, hang out. It's a good time if you're signed up for that, that is. There are 11 in pool sessions run by George Davis. All that information is on his website. What's up, Steve? Thanks for hanging out with us. All that information is on the Ohio Kayak Construction website. A couple events that we have coming up. We have a swift water rescue course coming up on the 18th and 19th of April. That's going to be taking place at Whitewater Warehouse. It'll be run by your lovely team at Ohio Kayak Construction. That is, like I said, April 18th and 19th. If you are on the water in any serious capacity, I highly recommend that you take the swift water class. There has been time and time again, this year especially, where I've been like, man, I really wish I was Swiftwater certified.
Yeah.
So the Mad Tree,
It's Wednesday.
the Mad Tree gear swap was 2 Fridays, was last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, and it was a great success. I got many new things, including this new throw bag
You got a sound name of
that I can fit between my legs. Yeah, it was from Eric. It's like from Ohio Kayak Construction to Ohio Kayak Construction.
Hey,
And then I got a bunch of skirts donated to the cause too.
Awesome.
It's a pretty good one too. I might wear that in the pool because my pool skirt is currently acting more like a sieve than
I've gone through 2 skirts.
anything else.
Killed 2 skirts.
That was a great success. If you are selling gear or anything and you want that advertised, go ahead and let us know. We'll gladly put that information out there for you. Especially Eric. Eric loves posting on Facebook.
He does.
So if you tell him you're selling something, he'll get it out there for you. He'll get the market for you.
If it's cool, we might buy it anyway.
Yeah, we might. There's a good chance.
I've got 2 new boats for us.
I end up taking home more kayaking stuff. It seems like every time I'm with Eric. So
yeah.
just funny how that happens, isn't it? And I'm also looking for a medium Rockstar 5.
Carbon.
Not carbon.
Go for it.
No,
Full send.
I like my boats intact in one piece.
Fair.
But if you're selling a medium Rockstar 5 for a broke college student's budget, hit me up and I might know a broke college student who might want that. Yeah, I think that's most of our announcements.
The Wednesday.
Oh, there is
DVD
a
brew.
happy hour on February 18th at DVD Brewery on by Little Miami. Great place, good beer.
Good times.
Good time to meet people, explore, put your name out there if you're looking for people to paddle with. A lot of Cincy paddlers come to that. It's a great time. I have class, so I will not be there, but Jeremy and Eric will be there.
Yeah.
I'm committing Jeremy to be there now.
Yeah,
so
apparently
he'll be there.
I am going to be there.
That starts at 5 o'clock. It's a great networking opportunity. Like I said, they've got good beer.
They got good food too.
Also good food. They have food trucks outside, and it's also kid friendly. No dogs though. Dogs, they have to stay outside. Mom.
Actually,
She
this would be a
brought
good
our
time
dog
to bring
last
Rahul to his first bar.
Yeah.
Hey, he's got his temps now. So
Yeah, you're DD right there.
I don't drink, but it's not too late for him.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll go ahead, and while people are here, I'll go ahead and ask you to do the streamer things. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe if you're new here. YouTube has this new thing called hype, apparently, so hype up this video.
Well, I didn't know
I don't know what it is. Just go ahead and hype it up. Get us out there. Let us spread our message tonight. If you're just joining us, I did mention that this is probably going to be a bit of a shorter episode. Jeremy and I have been, well, Jeremy's just getting back from a week in Chile, and I have been working like a dog, and also keeping my mind open for preparing for our guests next week.
Yeah.
Who we're really excited to have on.
So actually, yeah, turn notifications on. It'll be a good one.
Yeah.
Not
giving away any ideas yet. But I said last week that he's a king in the river community. So
boy, that's subtle.
we're looking forward to having him on. It's going to be a great conversation. It's going to be a great time. So Jeremy, I'll go ahead and have you recap the Pucone trip there. The good, the bad, the ugly.
I mean, honestly, it was all good. There was very little bad, I think, for anybody there, and I'm sure Christian and the other people that may or may not be on here right now would back it up. It's been a non-stop onslaught of trading pictures, videos, trying to upload enormous videos for people. But yeah, we paddled 7, most of us paddled 7 straight days. We were gone for 8 days. The flight home got a little interesting given the winter storm Fern that hit here. I know at least the crew I was with, when we got to Atlanta, pretty much every flight was canceled, so we had to modify. Nicole and I just rented a car and beat the plane home, because that's how I do. But yeah, everybody got there and back safely, had a phenomenal time. We paddled, depending which group you were paddling with, either a different river every day. I think all of us repeated at least one river, but there was, sorry, we may be having technical difficulties, we're not sure. Or it could just be people located in Indiana.
Yeah,
but
maybe it's a personal problem.
Yeah, the trip to Pucón it really is just an amazing place, regardless of your current level. And probably the biggest thing to get across is we are going to be doing this annually going forward, potentially even longer trips to catch. The Pucón season inverted from our season, so it starts really the biggest whitewater starts in September for the most part, and that's when things like the Rio Claro run, which is a little farther up north but harder to get, and there's just a plethora of rivers to run. The water level by the end of January, start of February is starting to drop off, which is a more ideal time for mixed groups like ours, which span beginner to advanced or expert. But it's got everything you could dream of. It's a kayaker's paradise, and David and his crew at Pucón Kayak Retreat set it up so you do not have to worry about a thing. You just paddle. You come back to amazing food. I mean, we even had a fresh salmon from a river we paddled one day because we ran into some guys fishing, and they came and met us and sold us. There's giant salmon they caught, which is actually the best salmon I've ever had in my life. But a lot of big firsts for a lot of paddlers who went down there. Was super stoked to see that, and I think everyone down there advanced their skills and just in general had a phenomenal time. So there's every reason in the world to go if you can go, and we will be providing details as we, well, I mean, I'm literally like 3 days out from getting back, but there are solid plans to do this every year going forward. So there will be a lot of opportunities. We'll obviously keep you posted on that as it goes throughout the year, and everybody should come, in my opinion. It's not a once in a lifetime experience, but it's a lifetime type experience that you won't regret.
We're having troubles here apparently. I don't know. I can pull it up on Jeremy's phone, so maybe it's you guys. We'll keep plowing on. Yeah, I'm super jealous and have been saying this the whole time that they are going. That I am not going to Chile. I think, from what I've met and talked to and listened to David, he's a fantastic
He's
host.
awesome.
He really takes care of everything.
And some of our own students even were able to donate their own professional abilities. So Andy, big shout out to him, was instructing their massage therapist on physical therapy and acupressure and other modalities. Because one thing that is pretty common down there is, especially if you're a little bit not in shape since it's our winter and you go paddle 7 straight days of pretty hard whitewater for everyone, it's kind of sore.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Seems
So
that way.
they have a yoga dome with masseuse, dinner and lunch, breakfast is all provided and is all completely freshly made. It's truly fantastic. It's the best I've ate in a long time. But if you know me, that's usually just a bunch of smoothies and protein shakes. So it's not hard to beat my daily.
One Red Bull.
One. I'm on like 5 today. But that's work.
Yeah.
That's work induced. Let's see what else is from down there. The town of Pucón itself is just super cool. Also, there's a lot of other activities that they facilitate down there, from hiking to canyoneering, all kinds of options for non-paddlers. So I know next year one of plans for me anyway is to bring some people who aren't going to be paddling every single day by any means, and there are tons of cool things to do if you can think of it. And it's an outdoors thing. It's available down there, and it really is truly beautiful. You're in the very northern part of Patagonia, right at the boundary, and Mike is still down there. He headed
Driving
south.
back.
Yeah, driving. Fortunately, not driving back, but yeah, he's at Torres del Paine right now, which are unreal.
Yeah, Christian, I don't know what the trouble is, because we've been able to pull it up on Jeremy's phone just fine, so we'll figure it out by next week, I'm sure. And then this should still upload to YouTube after, so you can hear our lovely opinions and voices.
You can watch it infinitely on loop since it's so good this week. But yeah, I think everybody's a little just wiped out between the storms here and a lot of travel on my end. Quite a few of our viewers, so
Yeah, it's all good.
But yeah, the trip was a resounding success, and any specific questions about it, feel free to put them in the chat or just hit me up on whatever modality you prefer.
Yeah. Hopefully we're kind of back now. I don't know. We'll just keep going on.
Yeah.
We'll just keep going.
We'll pretend it's all working.
Yeah. We'll talk to ourselves. That's what we normally do anyway.
It's like a shuttle drive.
That's Wade's thing. We can't steal that. That's what his podcast is called, is the Shuttle Drive.
I thought he changed it.
I don't know.
Oh.
That's what it was called, was the Shuttle Drive. Maybe that's what he changed it to. I don't know. The Wednesday Night Paddler podcast is getting pretty big up there, so
We're going to be encroaching on his territory soon. You see this, Wade?
Yeah, Wade. We're going to start doing boat reviews.
I mean, we kind of do.
Not really. Not the way Wade does.
No, not the way Wade does. We're not
No one can do it that
We're not
way.
stepping on his toes with that.
Not at all. All right. Speaking of boats.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's number one question.
Our topic for tonight is, what boat do we think beginners should start in? This is kind of a topic that we have covered pretty in depth, but it doesn't hurt to revisit the key points and get your guys' opinions on it, what how it is, and so I'll give you the Eric answer, which is it depends. I've become much more aware of this, as not everybody in the world wants to be a fantastic playboater or river runner. They just want to go out and do some little floats, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Whatever you want from the sport is entirely up to you.
That should inform your decision
choice.
on
Yep.
your first boat.
I would always tend to lean, if you are that person who wants to go run the hairy, scary stuff, I think it's easier to play in a boat that is going to punish you, and especially early on, to make you learn, to make you do the hard stuff, to make you do all the important skills, and then when you get on the harder stuff, it'll be all that much easier for you. So I would say, I think a half slice is a really good boat to start in. I think a play boat, especially like a nice little fun back there, is probably an even better boat to start in if you're looking to really build your skills quickly with lots and lots of swimming.
Oh yeah, if you're starting off in a play boat, yeah, you're gonna swim a lot. But I think a big part of that equation too is, where are you paddling as you're learning? So if you're with us on our Monday night classes on the Little Miami, there's absolutely no reason not to do that. Even if you're doing the Elkhorn class that I'm running on Tuesdays, you would probably have a few out-of-boat experiences right away in a play boat if you're brand new to it. But at the same time, while it's a steeper learning curve, the steeper learning curve also means you get to a higher skill level quicker. But if your goal isn't to do that type of boating, there's nothing wrong with being in a river runner or a creeker. My personal opinion on first boat is, don't buy your first boat until you've paddled other boats. And one thing that's kind of great that we have available more and more and more, like literally by the day, I just picked up 2 more boats. But borrow people's boats, demo boats. Any outfitter that sells boats demos boats for the most part. There's some that don't.
Also, reach out to your Ohio Kayak instruction team. I've got 5.
Yeah.
Jeremy's got, I'm sure,
like
9. Eric's got 30-something.
I'm about to have more.
We're more than happy to lend boats out to people, especially if you don't know what it is. Take it, try it.
Another good way
not
to find
my Mobius though.
Oh.
You don't paddle another person's play boat.
Yeah, that's kind of tricky because you'd mess up the outfit.
I'm just kidding. If you want to paddle a Mobius,
but people like Brennan, from Water Safe Ohio in the Columbus group, he is a Apex ambassador, meaning when you run into people like that, and if you're curious to find a given boat type to try, if you go to that manufacturer's website, you will find a listing of their ambassadors, often by region or even by state sometimes.
Yep.
And the whole purpose of that is for them to paddle that boat and have other people paddle that boat so that they can check it out and see if they want one for themselves. So when you see ambassadors from different paddling brands, be sure to talk to them because they will put you in a boat like that. Yeah, it's a great way to do it. I do agree with everything Ed said regarding play boating and the learning curve, but if you're ultimately gonna plan on, you know, not doing any type of freestyle or anything else, there is absolutely nothing wrong with starting and staying in a river runner or creek boat. But my big thing is just demo them and see what you like, because they're vastly different, and especially in terms of comfort. So depending on your body type, paddling style, even just arm length and everything else, it can really change your opinion. Also worth mentioning is boats come in different sizes.
Yes.
Try different sizes because you may surprise yourself. I know, I mean, it wasn't by any means a beginning boat, but I never really thought I'd be buying small boats ever in my paddling career, and the two boats I paddle the most are both small boats. That spices things up a little bit, but it works for what I like to do. And it translates well too when you get back into a big boat for the first time in 4 years, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
First time back in a creek boat.
Sure. I don't even.
Also, first time in
I
the
don't
Wakas.
own a creek boat at all, so every time I paddle one, which is very, very occasionally, it's like, oh my god, this thing is a barge.
It is, and it was shocking for me on day one getting back in a creek boat. I was like, oh wow, this is too big.
What did you paddle?
A Steez to start, and then I switched to a Goat.
Goat.
Which are both Waka.
I've heard good things about the Goat.
I like the Goat. It fit me a lot better. The Steez I found very comparable to the Clutch.
Yeah.
Just a bit too big for Jeremy.
Personal problem.
Yeah, definitely a personal problem. It is a wide boat. It's a lot of boat. It felt very sluggish to me. But
Mitch had his scucks with him at one of the last pool sessions, and I sat in that, and I was, it's all right.
I demoed a Scucks,
I
and
don't think it was that good, but
it wasn't my
a lot
cup
of
of
people love
tea
it.
either. But Mitchell is way bigger than me.
Yeah.
And it fits him very well. I paddled with Mitchell the day he got his Scucks, and he styled it, and it looked great in it. And I know a lot of people who love that boat as well.
Yeah.
It just was it was too stable for me, too wide, too stable. But it was still a fun boat to paddle. It was super. I mean, I would run creeks on it. It's super stable for me.
So I guess as far as specific boats, my very first boat was a Dagger Dynamo, which is a kid's boat that is not in production. Great boat. I really have no regrets about it, but pretty quickly after the learning how to roll on the Dynamo, I moved over to the Fun 1.5, and then I moved my way through the whole Fun series. So that's the Fun 1.5, the 2 Fun, and then the regular Fun, and then I got so big that I moved up to a 4 Fun.
You did do the 4 Fun?
And of all of them, I liked the 4 Fun the most, except for it was the 4 Fun that was that design, so it was a little bit more comfortable for me, and just as playable. It was also black, which was just a beautiful boat color. 4 Fun was a fantastic boat. I stayed in the Fun series pretty much my whole kayaking career until 18 years old when I bought the Antics 2.0, and that is what I used for a long time, and I think that's a pretty solid beginner boat too. You're definitely gonna get the half slices are weird because on little stuff you'll be just fine, but as soon as you find something with a pretty semi okay hole and you've been paddling on the back seat
cross currents
or a cross current, you will be in trouble, especially if you've been leaning back, which is a habit that creek boats tend to get you in.
They do.
Which is one good thing about half slices. They will make you pay if you are leaning back like this.
Unless you want to be on your stern.
The Antics 2 is a good beginner boat for people who want to play but not really go crazy. I think it's a good boat for like stern squirts and surfing, but it's also stable and can get you through a lot of stuff.
Mine's my creek boat.
Yeah, mine was my creek boat too until I upgraded because I'm like a kid in a candy store when it comes to kayaks.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm.
But I do think the 2.0 is probably a better beginner boat than the 3.0. I think
I agree.
my knowledge of the river has made the 3.0 probably my most favorite boat that I've ever paddled. But I think if you were a true beginner, it would not be the best boat for you to learn in. I would say the 2.0 is a bit better, and the reason for that mostly has to do with the double chine. The 3.0 is harder to roll because you have the double chine changes your stability.
And it's wider.
And it's wider. So
great also things. Less stern volume.
Great things if you are play boating on a nice wave or a bouncy hole, or surfing, and it's just a very beautiful feeling. But it does not stay that way. If you were a beginner, you're going to be really uncomfortable and thrown off by that.
Double chines and hard chines, for lack of a better word, can trip you up.
Yeah.
You can catch an edge, just like in skiing or snowboarding, and suddenly find yourself underwater.
Upside down. Other good beginner boats, if you're looking for a good creek-ish boat, the Mamba is technically a river runner, but I would definitely classify it as a creek boat.
Nomad
is a good boat.
Always been a fan of the RPM. That's what I got stuck in. I was borrowing boats when I started. It was an RPM and a T Canyon, which are similar but quite different. T Canyon is about 12 feet long. RPM's kind of similar in ways to an Antics 2 in a lot of ways, but even easier to roll. An older boat. And one thing that's great about those, as Eric can tell you, is you can find them very, very, very affordable.
Yeah.
They get a lot of them.
They get bought up quick though.
Yeah.
Whenever they're posted, people love them, so they pick them up. Christian, I think it would depend on whether you were going for the medium or the large. The large 2.0 is not a good kayak. I've not paddled the large 3.0, so I can't really give any feedback on that. But Jackson boats typically tend to be made for a man that is 5'6" and a very, very good paddler. So that take those measurements with a grain of salt. I would say if you're going to go for a medium, the 2.0 would be better for you.
I would agree on that, just personally.
The 3.0 is, I'm not kidding, a pretty hard boat to paddle. But if you can paddle it and make it yours, it does wonderful things.
And I would throw in with the Antics 2, like dagger rewinds if you're looking for half slices, or I'm a big fan of dagger outfitting. They're very comfortable, and also Piranha Ripper 1 or Ripper 2 are also both great half slice options to get into that are in the same vein as the Antics 2.0. Liquid Logic has a couple different options that I have not paddled, so I can't really speak to them, but like Power Slide, Sweet Ride are their larger ones, and then of course there's the Hot Whip, which I have actually paddled the Hot Whip, and that falls in the same category as the Antics 3 and the Braun Firecracker. They're the reduced volume sterns, half size, half slices.
Quarter slices.
No, so quarter slices apparently are the creeks. The
creek slices?
No, the creek slices are the skis
your
and the clutch. Well, we had a huge discussion on this until I actually said what they're calling quarter slices are the Indra and the Reactor. I think the naming convention needs re-swizzled, but they're saying that in the Jackson Flow would be another one that falls into that quarter slice type thing, but they're tapered sterns that allow you to stern turn them, but it's still very hard to stern stall or stern squirt is very difficult without a lot of current.
Yes, that makes sense.
So that's the rationale coming from.
I would call those river runners then.
That's what I call them, but same thing.
It's just opinion. You know what opinions are like.
Yes, exactly. Zet has a few, like the Zet 5. And then there's with the Zion Slalom is another one that's kind of similar to that.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I get where the name comes from now, but I just think it's confusing. I would just call them.
Well,
river
it makes
runners.
sense if it was a half slice to be a quarter slice.
I mean, as a math guy, that's what's been driving me nuts. So,
Man.
but again, with all these things, demo them before you buy them.
Yes.
And this includes
Just
whether-
because we like boats doesn't mean
Yeah.
you will like boats.
boats are very individualized things, and some people prefer outfitting from one company or hull shapes from another company, and well, that's why a lot of times you'll see people Frankenstein boats where it's whatever hull mixed with outfitting from a competitor, or
Yeah.
old school stuff thrown into new school boats, or like Immersion Research makes probably the best back band out there, for example, which is able to be fit in any boat, but it's
Heaps and labels.
the Evo of boat design, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't come up with the names.
We just follow them.
Yeah, we're just regurgitating.
Do you have any specific boats that you would recommend for a beginner?
I really like the RPM a lot because I think one consideration if you're a true beginner is, so obviously learning the roll is a key part of whether or not you're going to stay in the sport. And if you come in with a boat that has a very difficult learning curve, particularly one that is, so just to be clear, if you have a good technique and a good hip snap, it doesn't matter. All boats roll. But the width of the boat in particular is usually the biggest driving factor on that, and then whether it's a pure planing hull versus a pure displacement hull. But getting a boat that you feel comfortable in and it feels natural to you is critical to you staying in the sport. If you're very uncomfortable both physically, like in the outfitting, your feet are always numb, etc., it's not going to make it super pleasurable when you're brand new and you don't really understand why you're crammed into this little thing, other than people said, hey,
That it
it'll
was
be better,
good.
quicker this way, like we're guilty of. But it's where it becomes important to know why and what your goals are, and that really is why I would suggest demoing as many boats as you can before you, especially with boat prices where they are now these days. Before you throw down $1,900 on a boat, if you're getting a new boat, definitely demo it and definitely check out similar boats to it. But I really think probably the best all around, for me anyway, that I would suggest for a true beginner is RPM. It is one of the easiest boats to roll, and it will give you confidence. It's also a super fun boat to play around. It is a half slice. RPM stands for Radical Play Machine. It was a play boat when it came out.
Times have changed.
They have changed a lot since then. But it was so popular they re-released it in like whenever,
Yep.
2010 or something like that. So
Mitch, I have heard very, very good things about the Indra. The other boat that I've heard really, really good things about is the Reactor.
yep.
I drink Jackson's Kool-Aid pretty hard, but I think that if I was picking between the Flow, the Reactor, and the Indra, it would probably be between the Indra and the Reactor
Those
more
are-
than the Flow.
Those are only two Creek boats I'm looking at.
Yeah. I think Jackson does great things with their boats. They're not necessarily the best creek boats out there.
I agree.
Should your dry suit cost more than your boat used or new? Dry suits cost more than boats unless they're from Alibaba.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, used or new.
Your dry suit will cost more than a boat if you're buying one of the good ones.
Or you could just never use a dry suit. I mean, that's what I do. Now that's terrible. Advice, don't do that.
Stay warm, stay safe. Especially on the race coming up, February 15th. You're going to need some cold water gear. That water is going to be freezing.
And that is a requirement too, just a heads up. You don't have to have a dry suit, but you do need to have a dry top
Yep.
and appropriate base layers for whatever you're doing for the bottom half. 'Cause
I need to cut
that
my
gasket-
gasket still.
Any
Probably get
tips
on
on
that sooner or
cutting
later.
neck gaskets? We actually
No, I have no idea.
that actually came up in Chile.
I'm probably going to go watch an NRS video at some point and wing it.
So, my 2 cents on cutting a neck gasket, or hack, if you will, is if you have a straight edge soldering iron, doing with a soldering iron can give you a nice rounded seal to it that won't leave jagged edges, and the jagged edges tear easily. And you know, as tight as a neck gasket is, when you're taking it on and off, that's when you accidentally zoop, and now you need to replace the gasket, which is going to happen at some point anyway, but it's way better if it doesn't happen like 2 days after you cut your neck gasket. So if you don't use a soldering iron, you also can use a razor or X-Acto knife or other things that I've used, and then just use a lighter, a candle, whatever you want to, again, just melt those edges. It structurally reinforces them and makes them much less likely to tear. So be careful with your gaskets, and also keep your gaskets lubricated. Your dry suits and dry tops, yep. Not my preferred method, but there's all kinds of gasket lubricants out there, but it'll usually come with some as well, and that's usually plenty to get you through your first season or two.
They don't if they come from China.
Yeah, have not bought one from China yet myself, but I guess I'm about to later this week. So,
yeah, I did buy an Alibaba dry suit, so look for a review coming up with that whenever I find some time to go do some winter paddling.
Hey, if nothing else, Sunday.
I've heard it was dry, so.
And this comes from someone we're.
Yeah,
we'll check with the
check with the expert. Yeah, but that's pretty much all we've got on buy IR. Yes, I know I need to. I know I need to buy IR. I'm broke. Sorry, IR.
IR and Kokotad have always been the industry leaders in dry gear, but there have been, and there was a lot of good discussion about this with people from Europe and South America down in Chile, but I had heard this prior to going as well. Palm and Hiko. Palm is a UK company, a British company, and Hiko is Czechoslovakian, but both of them actually don't use a neck latex gasket. They use neoprene only. I have a Palm semi-dry top shorty, and it's almost as dry as my Kokotad dry top, and it's a whole lot more comfortable, and it does not strangle you whatsoever. Do you have one?
This is an NRS neck gasket that is all neoprene, no neck gasket, and it is, like Jeremy is saying, almost completely dry. I've never used actual neck gasket, so I can't compare the two, but I've never had seeping large amounts of water trickle down my neck.
And I have
dry top
both, and I don't notice much of a difference between them, honestly, except that is way more comfortable.
Yes. The first time I put the dry suit on, I was like,
yeah.
That's why I'm cutting it.
A very common occurrence. It happened to me with my very first dry top that I ever had to. I was a college, but not, well, actually, yeah, it was. And for me, it was a huge purchase, even though it was a no longer manufactured overstock buy. But at any rate, I didn't know you were supposed to cut it. So
just dealt with it.
Went ahead and paddled with purple face for a while until somebody was like, you really should cut your dry top. That's what those little lines on there are for. And if you don't know what I mean, you will see little, not perforated lines, but you will see ridges around new dry tops with latex gaskets. Those are trim lines is the intent there.
Don't go too big.
Yeah, go slow. And also they stretch. So
they do.
You want it to be snug when you start out.
I kept a nice vase on my gasket for about a week to really stretch it out.
Yeah, if you're looking for a soldering iron, most comfortable dry top or dry suit, from my experience, the Palm shorty that I wear is the most comfortable. Even though it's labeled as semi-dry top, it's as dry as any of my other dry stuff.
Yeah, this same thing here. I wear this pretty frequently. Like I said, it was my only cold water gear until recently. I did have to get a gasket replaced on it a year or two ago. Super comfortable. All the other ones I used were hand-me-downs, so they were never super good. But I don't know. I think you can go try them on and figure out for yourself.
Yeah, I heard, so that Palm shoe, I've never worn it, Mitchell, but I heard that is a great shoe to have.
Wonder how you found that one out.
Yeah, we had a couple people find that out, particularly on the Palgine, which may be where he's talking about as well. It is pretty slick, though. I do find the Astral Wrestlers to have much better traction than the Brewers on that type of stuff. I had both with me and switched out accordingly, depending where I was at, but I also had the advantage of having already slipped there quite a few times in Brewers before. Also, they get pretty torn up on that type of rock. Volcanic rock is a bit hard and sharp.
It's like pumice.
There is pumice as well.
Yeah, they go to Confluence by the Lower Yacht. That's where IR's factory is. They make all their stuff there. They have lifetime warranties. IR is a fantastic brand.
I don't
American
know if
made.
I've ever gotten rid of any IR gear that I have. It's not worn out.
Yeah.
It's all been, and I'm getting ready to send several things in for them to repair again, to include 2 skirts. 510, not only are the mountain biking shoes good, I don't know if they still make them or not, but I have neoprene 510 kayaking shoes, or water shoes, that are the grippiest things ever. They are marking shoes, as in like they will mark what you walk on, which is fine, but they're about the grippiest things I've ever had, and I do still have them. But yeah, 510 oil line is excellent. They're well known for their rubber, and the mountain biking shoes are super solid also.
My advice to people who are talking about shoes is learn how to walk better. Although I suppose I have an unfair advantage because I've been around the river my whole life. It's funny going rock scrambling with Olivia because like I'll be like she's back there braving the storm, fighting her hardest battle.
It is definitely a learned skill.
It is definitely a learned skill.
It's all about weight distribution.
Yeah.
Yeah, we the hike out of Palgine, we had a couple people find out, not even on rocks, what traction is like. So
Wear shoes though. Can confirm that. Wear shoes. The hike out on stuff sucks if you don't have shoes on.
So I initially started boating barefoot because that was what a lot of people did, especially really good boaters that I started with were all, I'm barefoot and this, that, and the other, but it was on the Cody.
Yep.
And that's kind of a cheat. And then on top, the biggest argument for wearing shoes is in a swim or rescue situation, you need to be quick on your feet, and sometimes that's not possible barefoot, though you can get pretty good traction barefoot. I will admit that.
I used to paddle barefoot too a lot, and then on the Akoi I stepped on a sharp rock and cut my foot up very bad.
It's funny how fast that changes your
all right,
opinion. That's how
I'll wear
fast it
shoes
changes
now.
your opinion on things, because that's what happened to me too.
Voyagers are the Palgine or heinous.
They absolutely are.
You just run the rapid.
No, that's the problem. As you run the rapids are just waterfalls, and so when you get to the bottom, it's just boop, right back up. Get on the next lap. Even the hike in can be a little heinous if it's slick out. Very narrow.
Yeah.
If you fall, you die.
Oh, it'll be
Probably.
all right.
One of the most gorgeous rivers, though, and one of the most gorgeous put-ins you'll ever see. It's like Ferngully. I was really glad to get back there. That has always been one of my favorite rivers ever since the first time I paddled it. That's the one I've paddled the most by far in Chile.
Rock Rapid is like a 70-foot waterfall.
Yeah, so that Mitchell, the first year I went, it is when the rock slide happened like 3 months before we got there, because it used to be the most perfect, cleanest 70-footer you could run. It was the best big waterfall to run, and we were all stoked to try that when we went last time, only to find out that the rock slide had happened. And yeah, it's a giant death sieve now. There's somebody sent a crash test dummy through it, and it did come out. Yeah, don't try it. Don't try
fluid
it.
dynamics between you and crash test dummy.
Oh, absolutely. And if you see it, like it's like a toilet. Like it just disappears, and then you see at the bottom it's coming out. But it used to be the cleanest 70-footer to run out there.
70's too high for me. I don't think I'll go that high.
Start smaller. Which the upper Palgine's great for. They're all like 20-foot.
Yep.
Ish. Super fun run. The Upper Fui, when we get a little taller, La Leona is a great one. But even locally here, we have all kinds of good, clean, easy waterfalls. And oddly enough, Rattlesnake Falls in Ohio, when it's running, is probably one of the best first waterfalls because there's not much to the lead-in and there's not much after the drop either. Whereas,
except the heinous hike out.
Yeah, but it is much less heinous than the Palgine. And the other, like, quintessential other first waterfall is Baby Falls on the Ledges section for Tellico. The only catch there is Baby Falls leads right into Diaper Wiper, which can be kind of tricky.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, and for us, we didn't have the option to do the Middle Palgine because the water levels were too low. It would have been
I have to watch some
way
videos
too
tonight.
low. Yeah, the Middle Palgine's fun. I have done it 11 years ago, but middle, lower, whatever section that is. But yeah, portaging it gets old real quick.
Sure
in
it
that
does.
territory.
Portaging gets old everywhere, all the time.
It does. This is extremely steep stuff. So yeah.
Like the Tallulah portage, the Oceana portage, or worse.
Well, when I ran, we didn't have to portage much, but we had a lot more water in it than it had. It's a low water year in Chile, period, right now. So, no, Oceana's at least just straight downhill with lots of room. The Palgine's like a slot canyon.
Yeah.
So it's pretty walled in, and
That makes sense.
the trails are pretty narrow from what I saw. Again, I haven't portaged that much on the Palgine, but yeah, it's always better with more water.
Always.
Almost always.
There is a fine line.
Yeah, and the Palgine is very narrow and water levels come up fast.
Like I said, I'll have to look that one up.
Well, I just so happen to have lots of video of it, but you'll have to wait a few days for. I'm not as
No,
quick
you
as
have to
Mitchell is.
go
with,
home
I'm not as
now
quick as
and
Mitchell is
do
with
it.
my video edits. Though in other interesting news, I did switch from a GoPro to the DJI camera because of the variable aperture on the new one, and I've been with my first GoPro came from Old Spice when I did their little adventure ambassador thing that I was on in 2009 or 10, whenever that was. But I've had GoPros since GoPro 1, and
I don't do any of the videos.
Yeah,
stuff,
Mitchell,
Mitch.
please do. You need to. You need to help me.
There's a reason for that.
But the Action 6, battery-wise, so everybody else did have GoPros. I had another GoPro with me as well, but I don't think, even on our longest day, I think the lowest my battery got was like 37% of filming everything.
Yep.
Whereas if I was using the GoPro, I would have gone through 2 batteries easy that day. Potentially even into a third. We had several people with us whose batteries died. And so if you're looking for a new action camera, I have no ties to either of them anymore, but I've used GoPro forever, loved them. I hate Quick, their video editing software. I use Premiere instead, but I do think the actual performance on water and the video quality, because of its variable aperture, so that changes as your lighting conditions change, it results in a really, really nice looking picture.
Yeah, sure.
So it's I do recommend,
As long as you tilt it right.
the action. So yeah, having it tilted right helps out that stupid golly video.
There's always next year.
Oh, there's always like a million times this year.
Yep.
It's gonna be rowdy.
It's gonna be a good year.
Let's see, what else?
I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. Unless you guys have anything that you have a burning desire to hear us talk about, I'll give you a second to talk about that. But as we do here, if you have any suggestions about folks are starting weather boots on. Okay,
That's a
good question.
You know,
My paddle recommendations. I paddle with a shorter paddle than I should. I use a 197. I think if you're using a 194, unless you've got really, really tiny arms, then you should probably be using at least a 197, no matter what.
How tall are you?
I'm 6 feet tall.
Okay, so I'm 5'9", and I use a 197 as well. I don't hit my normal boats very often. I do notice that for me, the wider boats like the clutch and the skis, I do hit my hands.
Yep. I actually have a scar on my thumb from rolling in my Antics 2. So
it look like that?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Antics 2 love tap, and then one of our students is also learning how to roll in the Antics 2, and he gets a good old bump on the blade forward or blade center dish.
You're talking about like 15 or 30 degree offset?
I use an offset.
I prefer an offset as well. I use 15 is most common for me these days, but Ed is going to grab some paddles. One cool thing though, like Accent and Aquabound and some other people all have adjustable length paddles now, which is kind of nice, and they're breakdown paddles as well. Who make that? Who is the North Carolina group?
The ArcaWorks.
ArcaWorks, also the Honey Badger. That's adjustable length as well, isn't it?
Yep.
So there are adjustable length paddles out there if you want to go that route. And again, you can demo paddles.
Yep.
So do that. No offset. Blade you're talking about power stroke. So he's talking about when they're actually offset this direction.
I paddled it on the shaft.
I paddled an Ophion.
Yep.
That was that way, and I actually liked it a lot. It does give you extra reach as you're coming out to your bow to take particularly draw strokes. It helps a lot. Boost strokes it helps on, and it does even have some advantages in a roll or a brace because of that offset forward paddle. This one's 194. Oh, you've got a 194?
Yeah,
Look
so
at
this AT that I use mostly for playboating now is a 194. Paddle is centered on shaft, and it's a 15 degree offset. It is very, very well loved, but I have had no concerns about it breaking at all. This is a newer paddle that I use for river running on deep stuff. This is a Werner Covert. Smaller. It's got smaller blades than the Stealth, which is its older brother. But this one is also centered on the blade centered off the shaft. It is not forward at all.
And what Boyle Line's talking about is like the Letman Extreme.
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about now that I'm thinking about it.
They are great. I would say try it. If you've never had one, try to demo one, borrow one first, and see if it's your thing or not. Some people I know have got them and dislike them, but it's mostly because they've used these style paddles for so long, it feels awkward to them.
Or the Odachi. Yeah, the Odachi's a good one.
The Odachi's
very
great.
popular paddle.
They're kind of easy to break in my experience.
So is Covert, by the way, if you were wondering.
I used an AT Flexi 2 for 14 years. I relayed the blades twice in that period of time, but eventually did get a hole that's just too big through the core and everything else. So it's duct taped up as a backup paddle, but I use a hardcore paddle, which is not available right now because Mike, the guy who makes them, those are handmade in his garage, but he took 2 years off. He's based out of Washington State to do another project of some sort. He's a Kiwi. That's in Washington State. Actually, I don't know where he's at right now, but Hardcore has got a cedar core with a carbon fiber casing on it, and I actually find it is very nice. It also has slightly smaller blades, but they're shaped very hydrodynamically, and I've been extremely pleased with it. It's very comparable in both durability and in just overall feel to a AT Flexi 2, which is still my all-time favorite paddle. And lucky for me, Eric found one early in the season that some guy had in his garage that's literally untouched, so I've got that as my backup paddle.
That was an AT Samurai, by the way. AT is not in business anymore, but they are succeeded by Aquabound.
No, not Aquabound. There's another company selling the actual AT design. It's good for that. So primarily for racing is kind of a tricky one, because if you're talking about just downriver racing, yes, absolutely will give you more power, and because what it does, it really helps with your draw strokes, because you get that extra inch forward or so. But if you're doing slalom racing, for example, Gala Sport is the classic paddle, and that's what you'll see just about every Olympic slalom paddler using, more or less. The other one they use is Ophion, and Ophion does have a blade forward one like that. So it's primarily for power, whether you want to use that for racing or just for, it will accelerate you quicker on a single stroke than a center blade will. At the same time, if you have shoulder issues, they can be a little rough on your shoulders, because they do collect a lot more water, and that offset creates additional torque on your shoulders. So make sure you stay in the box as well as you can. But I know a number of people who like them for the fact that higher up blade, when you're set up for a roll, it's got your paddle blade an extra ½ inch to an inch out of the water. So there's a lot of people who like them for roll reasons as well.
Paddles are a little bit harder to lend from us, but Eric's got a ton. They're pretty well used. But if you go to like the NOC, they'll lend you a paddle. Or
Even Whitewater Warehouse.
Whitewater Warehouse will do
paddles. Hit them up. Hit us up. You're welcome to borrow any of my paddles.
I've only got 2, and I broke one of them this year, so I'm a little protective of them right now.
My first paddle was an Aquabound Shred, which, if you know, is the absolute cheapest all-plastic whitewater paddle you can get, and it did break on me very early in my career, right at the ledge at Frank's Bells on the French Broad. So I went deep.
Yeah. The only reason I use the covert on deep water rivers is because I was at the Nantahala Playhole and plugged to do something, and I ended up with my paddle on the wrong side of my boat. It hit the rock that makes the feature, and right off.
That'll happen.
That was a bummer.
Yeah, speaking of Nantahala, actually, 2 of the river guides that were down in Chile are from Nantahala Paddling School, Haley and Blue, and we're going to be seeing some of them. Actually, when we take our beginner trips, they want us to get in touch, not to pay or do anything with them, just let them know we're in town, just hang out.
Cool.
And then on top of that, which ties in with the Swiftwater class, we'll be teaching up here. Haley and I don't actually know her friend, but they do a wilderness first aid course as well, which
is an important part of swiftwater rescue.
Yes, it's the part that comes after the water part.
Yeah.
So it's called the resuscitators, with a tater in the name. So, but it's super cool, and we're going to be looking to offer that class as well. If we end up with 12 people that want to have it, they will come to us here. If we're down in their neck of the woods and we have a group, they are more than willing to do it. It's pretty affordable. And just to reiterate, like we have a million times, and the more you know about how to protect yourself and others with you on the water and off the water, the better, because inevitably people get hurt.
Yep. It's one of those things you hope to never have to use, but you'll sure be glad to have it when you need it. And
I've used my med kit 90% of the time for people with me, and I do carry a med kit with me. In fact, Clint is the biggest recipient of things from my medical kit over the years. But yeah, knowing how to do basic first aid in the wilderness, even if you're not a paddler, is a super critical skill to have if you spend time outdoors. And this includes climbing, hiking, whatever you're doing, because if you've done any of these things, you know how easy it is to get hurt out there.
Yep.
And knowing how to stop a laceration, splint something, it comes in real handy when it's needed, because it's all of a sudden goes from a fun day doing whatever you're up to this is an emergency, and we're nowhere near anywhere clean or quick to get medical care. So knowing that stuff is huge, and there'll be some opportunities for that this year. And yeah, we'll be down there with beginner groups anyway, so we'll be sure to stop by and say hey
sure.
to them and stop
I've
by
heard
ERA. And
good things about Blue, so looking
yeah,
forward
they're
to
both
meeting
great. I had never met either of them before, and they're both awesome people. Blue's a hell of a banjo player as well.
Sweet.
Has a carbon fiber banjo actually, so
You can take it with them.
it is also two-piece.
Really got it planned out. I think that's all we've got.
Unless you guys got anything else you're super
Any
curious
last minute
about.
pressing questions?
Next week is going to be a big one. Tell your friends.
Yeah, next week is we're super excited to have our guest on.
Guest is not from Ohio.
He is not from Ohio. Like I mentioned earlier, he's considered a king in the community. So if you have any questions for us that you would like us to cover, we're working on some stuff. We're workshopping some stuff. Do it a little bit more interview style, so we'll get to hear his real opinions, hopefully. And,
Yeah, you won't have to listen to us the whole time.
You won't have to listen to us the whole time, but if there's anyone you want to have on the podcast, we'll shoot a text to anybody. They may or may not say yes, but know that we tried. Just to recap on races, there is no
race this
Little
weekend.
Miami race this week. This weekend, that is pushed back to the 15th of February. So if you have any interest in doing it, come out on the 15th of February. It's going to be a great time.
11 a.m. at Roads, Rivers, and Trails for racer briefing.
Yep.
12 p.m. for start. Should be over by 3 p.m. We usually do food at Little Miami Brewery afterwards, and then we'll be headed to Xavier for Ed's final. That's the final
That
one.
is the final pool session of Xavier this year.
So come out for both. Have a chill.
February 15th. You can just come hang out. You don't have to race, but come to the pool class. Helps me pay for it. It's a great time. It's a great time to meet people, paddle with people, do some networking.
And it's a huge pool.
It's a huge pool.
Plenty
Lots
of
of
room
space.
to do tricks, do whatever you're up to. Bring creek boat, bring up whatever. It all fits.
But if that's everything,
That's all I got.
Ed from Ohio Kayak Instruction.
I'm Jeremy.
Thanks for joining us, guys, and we will
We'll see you on the river.
Laters.